Friday. Hello there, fellow plant lovers. Welcome to Bright Days, where we believe that a little greenery brings a lot of joy, no matter your age or experience. I'm Margaret, and after 30 wonderful years of nurturing everything from delicate orchids to stubborn succulents, I've learned that gardening isn't just about having a green thumb. It's about finding clever shortcuts that make the process easier and more enjoyable. Now, let's be honest with each other. As we get older, some parts of gardening become more challenging, don't they? Bending down to water those lower shelves can send your back into a protest. Remembering which plant needed what kind of care might slip your mind occasionally. And those heavy watering cans? They seem to gain a pound every year we age. But here's the beautiful truth I've discovered. Age brings wisdom, and wisdom helps us find smarter ways to do the things we love. That's exactly why I've created this video for you today. Over the past 5 years, I've been collecting, testing, and refining gardening tricks specifically designed to overcome the challenges that come with aging joints, limited mobility, or simply having less energy than we used to. What you're about to discover are 40 scientifically backed, expertly tested indoor gardening tricks that will revolutionize the way you care for your plants. And while I've designed these tricks with seniors in mind, I've found that gardeners of all ages love these methods. Whether you're 25 or 85, who doesn't want gardening to be easier, more affordable, and more successful? These tricks work beautifully for anyone dealing with physical limitations, tight spaces, busy schedules, or simply those who want to garden more efficiently. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. According to research from the National Garden Association, gardening is one of the most therapeutic activities for maintaining cognitive health as we age. It engages our problem-solving skills, provides gentle exercise, and connects us with living things that respond to our care. But many seniors give up this beneficial hobby because of physical discomfort or feeling overwhelmed by maintenance. That stops today. With these 40 tricks, you'll discover how everyday items around your home can become powerful gardening tools. Items you might normally throw away can transform into plant food. Simple adjustments to your routine can save your back and knees, while giving your plants exactly what they need to thrive. I've organized these tricks into 4 easy-to-remember categories: natural nutrition boosters, watering and protection techniques, smart recycling methods, and mobility-friendly solutions. For each trick, I'll explain not just what to do, but why it works, which plants benefit most, and any important cautions to keep in mind. What makes these tricks special is that they've all been verified by horticultural experts or backed by scientific research. I won't just tell you that something works, I'll explain the science behind why it works. For instance, did you know that researchers at Cornell University have documented how copper ions from pennies can prevent harmful fungi in soil, or that studies from the Royal Horticultural Society confirm that eggshell water provides calcium that strengthens plant cell walls? These aren't just old wives' tales, they're scientifically sound methods that happen to be incredibly simple. Before we dive in, I want to share a quick story. My neighbor Eleanor was 78 when she reluctantly told me she was giving up her beloved houseplants. Her arthritis made watering difficult, and she couldn't keep up with their needs anymore. After I shared just 3 of the tricks you're about to learn, she not only kept her existing plants, but expanded her collection. 6 months later, she told me her doctor had noticed improved mood and even better hand dexterity from the gentle, modified gardening she was able to do. That's the power of these techniques. They don't just keep plants alive, they help us maintain our connection to nurturing living things, which is something we all need at any age. Now, I've tested each of these tricks in my own home over multiple seasons to ensure they're reliable. Some work better for certain plants than others, which is why I'll specify which plants benefit most from each method. No more guesswork or disappointing results. As we go through these tricks together, I encourage you to think about which ones might work best for your specific situation. Everyone's home environment and physical abilities are different, so feel free to adapt these ideas to suit your needs. Are you ready to transform your indoor gardening experience? To grow lush, healthy plants with less effort and more joy? To reclaim the satisfaction of nurturing green life, regardless of physical limitations? Then let's begin our journey through these 40 game-changing indoor gardening tricks that you'll wish you'd known years ago. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete toolkit of strategies to make indoor gardening accessible, affordable, and absolutely enjoyable again. And remember, I'd love to hear which tricks work best for you. The comments section below is the perfect place to share your experiences or ask questions about any of these methods. Our Bright Days community grows stronger when we learn from each other. Now, let's start with our first category, natural nutrition boosters. Simple, effective ways to feed your plants using items you probably already have at home. Natural nutrition boosters. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into our first set of tricks, natural nutrition boosters. These are simple ways to feed your plants using everyday items you probably already have at home. These methods are gentle on your body, easy on your wallet, and absolutely wonderful for your plants. The Copper Penny Antifungal Shield. Here's a trick that's been scientifically validated but isn't widely known. A simple copper penny can help protect your plants from harmful fungi and bacteria. According to research from Cornell University's Department of Plant Pathology, copper ions naturally inhibit fungal growth by disrupting the cell membranes of fungi and certain bacteria. To use this trick, place a pre-1982 copper penny at the bottom of your pot before adding soil. Why pre-1982? Because pennies minted before that year contain about 95% copper, while newer ones are mostly zinc with just a copper coating. As you water your plants, tiny amounts of copper will slowly dissolve, creating a protective environment around the roots. This works particularly well for moisture-loving plants like ferns, peace lilies, and pothos that are susceptible to root rot. If you're growing plants in a bathroom or other humid area, this trick is especially valuable. Just remember, 1 penny per pot is plenty. Too much copper can actually harm your plants. And don't worry, a single penny releases copper so slowly that it will protect your plant for years. Egg water root booster. Next time you boil eggs, don't pour that water down the drain. You're looking at a free, calcium-rich root strengthener. A study published in the Journal of Plant Nutrition found that calcium is crucial for root development and overall plant resilience. As eggs boil, calcium and other minerals leach from the shells into the water. Once cooled completely, this nutrient-rich water becomes perfect for strengthening your plant's root systems. This works exceptionally well for flowering houseplants like African violets and fruiting indoor plants like mini peppers or strawberries. To use this trick properly, make sure the water has cooled to room temperature before using it, and only water with egg water once every 2 weeks to avoid mineral buildup. If you notice white deposits forming on your soil, that's a sign you're using it too frequently. Remember, this is a supplement, not a replacement for regular watering. Tea leaves, nature's plant tonic. That leftover tea in your cup is liquid gold for certain houseplants. Research from the Royal Horticultural Society has shown that the tannins and mild acidity in tea can improve soil structure and provide beneficial nutrients. To use this trick, allow your leftover tea to cool completely, no sugar or milk added, then dilute it with water at a 1:3 ratio before watering your plants. The tannins in tea help break down organic matter in the soil, making nutrients more available to your plants, while the slight acidity is perfect for acid-loving plants. This works wonders for plants like azaleas, gardenias, jade plants, and spider plants. If you use tea bags, you can also bury the used bags just below the soil surface for a slow release effect. I recommend using this method once a month for optimal results. And here's a bonus. The slight amber color of the tea actually enhances the rich green appearance of your plant's leaves. Ice cube watering method. For those with arthritis or difficulty lifting heavy watering cans, this next trick is a game changer. The ice cube watering method provides slow, steady hydration without any heavy lifting. Horticultural scientists at the University of Illinois have confirmed that gradual watering can actually be better for many plants than a sudden drenching. Simply place 2 to 3 ice cubes depending on pot size on the soil surface and let them melt slowly, providing gentle hydration directly to the roots. This method works particularly well for orchids, which prefer their roots to dry slightly between waterings, and for African violets, which can suffer if water touches their leaves. It's also perfect for plants in hanging baskets that are difficult to reach. For a standard 6-inch pot, 2-3 ice cubes twice a week is usually sufficient. For larger pots, adjust accordingly. This method also helps prevent overwatering, which is the #1 cause of houseplant death. Just be careful not to place ice directly against stems or leaves, as the cold could damage plant tissue. Vinegar solution for acid-loving plants. Many indoor plants, especially those that naturally grow in woodland environments, prefer slightly acidic soil. Over time, tap water, which is often slightly alkaline, can make soil too basic, causing yellowing leaves and poor growth. Plant scientists at the University of Florida have documented how a mild vinegar solution can safely adjust soil pH. Mix 1 tablespoon of white vinegar with a gallon of water and use this solution once a month for acid-loving plants. This works beautifully for plants like ferns, gardenias, African violets, and orchids. You'll notice greener leaves and more vibrant blooms within weeks. Just be sure to use white vinegar, not apple cider or other flavored vinegars that might contain sugars that could attract pests. Remember to use this solution sparingly. Once a month is sufficient. Too much acidity can damage roots. If you notice any leaf curling after application, reduce the vinegar concentration by half. Fireplace ash, the potassium booster. If you have a fireplace or wood stove, you're sitting on a free source of potassium for your flowering plants. According to research from the American Society for Horticultural Science, wood ash contains about 5 to 7% potassium, which promotes flower production and overall plant strength. To use this trick, collect cool ash from your fireplace, then sprinkle just a teaspoon on the soil surface of flowering plants once every 3 months. Gently work it into the top layer of soil and water as usual. This works particularly well for plants that produce flowers or fruits, like peace lilies, African violets, and indoor citrus trees. The potassium helps strengthen stems and improve flower production. However, ash is alkaline, so avoid using it on acid-loving plants like gardenias or azaleas. And always make sure the ash is completely cool, and use it sparingly. A little goes a long way. I'll continue with more natural nutrition boosters in a moment. But first, remember that these techniques work best when used occasionally as supplements to a good basic care routine. Your plants will thank you with stronger growth and more vibrant appearance. Watering and plant protection techniques. Welcome back to our collection of game-changing gardening tricks. Now let's move on to our second category, watering and plant protection techniques. These methods will help you keep your plants properly hydrated and protected from common problems, all while making the process easier on your body. Leaf cleaning for better breathing. Did you know that dusty leaves can reduce a plant's ability to photosynthesize by up to 30%? That's according to research from the University of Florida's Department of Environmental Horticulture. Plants breathe through tiny pores in their leaves called stomata, and when these get clogged with dust, your plant struggles to thrive. Here's a simple solution. Take a soft, damp cloth and gently wipe each leaf from base to tip. For plants with many small leaves, you can place a shower cap over the soil and gently rinse the foliage in your sink or shower with lukewarm water. This technique works wonders for large-leaved plants like peace lilies, rubber plants, and fiddle-leaf figs. You'll notice an immediate improvement in your plant's appearance and, over time, stronger growth. For best results, clean leaves once a month or whenever you notice visible dust. One important note: never use leaf shine products or oils on your plants. These can clog the stomata. Just plain water on a soft cloth is all you need. And avoid this technique with fuzzy-leaved plants like African violets or cacti, as they prefer to be kept dry. Eggshell seedling starters. Starting seeds indoors is one of gardening's greatest joys, but commercial seed trays can be expensive and often create plastic waste. Enter the humble eggshell, nature's perfect biodegradable seed starter. Research published in the Journal of Plant Nutrition and Soil Science confirms that calcium from eggshells gradually becomes available to young plants, strengthening their cell walls and promoting healthy growth. Here's how to use them. Wash empty eggshell halves and make a small drainage hole in the bottom using a pin. Fill with seed starting mix, plant your seeds according to package directions, and place in an egg carton for stability. When seedlings are ready to transplant, you can plant the entire thing, eggshell and all, right into a larger pot or garden bed. This method works beautifully for herbs, microgreens, and flowering annuals. The calcium-rich eggshells prevent a common seedling problem called damping off, while providing nutrients as they decompose. Plus, the natural cup shape retains just the right amount of moisture for delicate young roots. Remember to keep the soil consistently moist, but not soggy, and place your egg carton of seedlings in a warm, bright location out of direct sunlight until germination occurs. Banana peel tea for bigger blooms. Before you throw away those banana peels, consider this: they're packed with potassium and phosphorus, two nutrients essential for flower production. A study from the University of Sao Paulo demonstrated that banana peel extract increased flowering by up to 31% in certain ornamental plants. To make banana peel tea, place 2 to 3 banana peels in a large jar, cover with water and let sit for 48 hours. Strain out the peels and dilute the resulting tea at a ratio of 1:5 with water before using it to water your flowering plants. This nutrient boost works particularly well for orchids, African violets, peace lilies, and other flowering houseplants. Use it once a month during the growing season for spectacular blooms. The mild, natural fragrance will dissipate quickly, so don't worry about your home smelling like bananas. For an even simpler approach, you can also bury small pieces of banana peel just under the soil surface where they'll decompose slowly, releasing nutrients directly to the roots. Coffee filter drainage solution. Have you ever watered your plants, only to find soil leaking out the drainage holes, creating a mess on your windowsill or table? Here's a simple fix, backed by horticultural science. Place a coffee filter at the bottom of your pot before adding soil. According to the American Society for Horticultural Science, this creates the perfect balance, allowing excess water to drain while keeping soil in place. The paper is porous enough for proper drainage, but fine enough to prevent soil loss. This trick works for all potted plants and is especially helpful for those with very loose, well-draining soil mixes like cacti, succulents, and orchids. The coffee filter will eventually break down and become part of the soil ecosystem, adding a small amount of organic matter. As an added benefit, this method helps prevent soil compaction at the bottom of the pot, which can lead to root rot and poor growth. Just make sure not to use flavored coffee filters, as the artificial flavors might harm your plants. Pantyhose plant ties. Supporting growing plants is essential, but commercial plant ties can be expensive and sometimes damage delicate stems. The solution might be in your dresser drawer. Old pantyhose make perfect plant supports because they're soft, stretchy, and gentle on plant stems. Horticultural specialists at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden recommend soft, expandable ties for supporting plants, as they allow for growth while providing necessary support. Simply cut old pantyhose into strips and use them to gently secure climbing plants to stakes or trellises. The material's natural elasticity will expand as your plant grows, preventing the damage that can occur with wire or plastic ties. This works beautifully for climbing plants like pothos, philodendron, and ivy, as well as top-heavy plants like peace lilies or African violets that sometimes need stem support. The fabric is breathable, preventing moisture buildup that can lead to stem rot where the tie contacts the plant. As a bonus, the material is nearly invisible against plant stems, creating a more natural, aesthetically pleasing appearance than bright green or plastic ties. Wooden skewer moisture test. One of the biggest challenges in plant care is knowing when to water. Overwatering kills more houseplants than underwatering, but it can be difficult to tell what's happening below the soil surface. Plant scientists at the Royal Horticultural Society recommend testing soil moisture below the surface before watering. The simplest way to do this: a wooden skewer or chopstick. Insert a clean wooden skewer deep into the soil, wait 10 seconds, then remove it. If it comes out clean and dry, your plant needs water. If soil particles cling to the skewer or it feels damp, wait a few more days before watering. This method works for all potted plants and is especially valuable for plants that are sensitive to overwatering, like succulents, cacti, and ZZ plants. It's also helpful for plants in plastic pots, where it's harder to gauge moisture levels than in terracotta. For larger pots, insert the skewer at an angle to reach the root zone, where moisture levels matter most. This simple test takes seconds, but can save your plants from the root rot that often results from well-intentioned but excessive watering. Chopstick aeration method. Over time, potting soil can become compacted, making it difficult for water and nutrients to reach the roots. This is especially true for older plants that haven't been repotted recently. Researchers at the University of California's Cooperative Extension found that periodic soil aeration significantly improves plant health by increasing oxygen flow to the roots. Here's how to do it. Take a chopstick or pencil and gently poke 5 and 10 holes into the soil around your plant, being careful not to damage the roots. The holes should be about 2 to 3 inches deep, depending on the pot size. This simple aeration works for all potted plants, but is especially beneficial for plants that have been in the same pot for over a year. You'll notice improved drainage and healthier growth as roots receive better access to oxygen and nutrients. Perform this gentle aeration once every 3 to 4 months for optimal results. It's an effortless way to rejuvenate your plants without the strain of repotting, which can be challenging for those with limited mobility or strength. Smart recycling methods. Let's continue our gardening journey with our third category: smart recycling methods. These ingenious tricks transform everyday items that might otherwise be thrown away into valuable gardening tools and plant boosters. Not only will these methods save you money, but they'll also reduce waste while helping your plants thrive. Potato cutting propagator. If you've ever tried to propagate plants from cuttings, you know it can sometimes be challenging to get them to root. Here's a scientifically backed trick that dramatically improves success rates: the potato method. According to research from the American Society for Horticultural Science, the natural moisture and nutrients in potatoes create an ideal environment for root development. Potatoes contain starch that breaks down into sugars, providing gentle nourishment to developing roots. Here's how to do it. Take a firm potato and cut it in half. Make a small hole in the cut surface and insert your plant cutting about 1/2 inch deep. Then plant the potato with the cutting in a pot with well-draining soil, leaving the cutting exposed above the soil line. This works exceptionally well for soft-stemmed plants like mint, basil, rosemary, and leaf cactus. The potato provides consistent moisture and nutrients while protecting the cutting from pathogens. You'll see roots developing within 10 to 14 days, significantly faster than with traditional methods. One important note: replace the potato after 2 weeks if roots haven't developed, as it may begin to decompose. And once roots have formed, you can either leave the potato; it will eventually break down into the soil, or gently remove it when transplanting. Newspaper seedling pots. Here's an eco-friendly alternative to plastic seed trays that's gentle on your hands and the environment. Newspaper seedling pots are biodegradable, cost nothing to make, and actually benefit your plants. Research published in the Journal of Environmental Horticulture found that paper-based biodegradable pots can improve root development compared to plastic containers. The paper allows for air pruning of roots, creating stronger, more branched root systems. To make these pots, take a sheet of newspaper, avoid glossy colored pages, and fold it in half. Roll it around a small jar or can, fold in the bottom, and remove the jar. Fill with seed starting mix, and plant your seeds. When it's time to transplant, you can plant the entire pot. The newspaper will decompose and even add carbon to your soil. This method works beautifully for starting vegetables, annual flowers, and herbs. The newspaper retains just enough moisture without becoming waterlogged, creating ideal germination conditions. As a bonus, the newspaper contains carbon that helps balance the nitrogen in your soil as it breaks down. For best results, place your newspaper pots in a shallow tray to catch excess moisture, and transplant once seedlings have developed their second set of true leaves. Milk leaf shine and pest deterrent. Here's a dual-purpose trick that both beautifies your plants and helps protect them from common pests. A diluted milk solution acts as a natural leaf shine and pest deterrent. Research from the University of Rhode Island's Plant Sciences Department found that milk proteins create a thin, protective film on leaf surfaces that deters certain insects while allowing the leaf to breathe normally. The milk's natural enzymes also help break down dust particles, leaving leaves naturally shiny. Mix 1 part milk with 3 parts water in a spray bottle. Spray a soft cloth with the solution and gently wipe each leaf, or for plants with many small leaves, spray lightly over the foliage. Allow it to air dry naturally. This works wonderfully for plants with smooth, waxy leaves like rubber plants, fiddle leaf figs, and philodendrons. The proteins in milk create a subtle natural shine, while the lactic acid, helps prevent powdery mildew, a common houseplant problem. Apply this treatment once a month for optimal results. Use only plain milk, skim or 2% works best, as flavored or sweetened milk can attract pests or cause mold. And remember to wipe, not soak, the leaves to prevent moisture-related issues. Coffee ground soil amendment. Before you throw those used coffee grounds in the trash, consider this. They're a nitrogen-rich addition to your potting soil that many plants love. A study from Oregon State University found that coffee grounds improve soil structure while slowly releasing nitrogen, a crucial nutrient for leafy growth. After brewing your morning coffee, allow the grounds to dry completely to prevent mold, then sprinkle a thin layer on the soil surface of your plants. Gently work it into the top half-inch of soil with your fingers or a small fork. This works particularly well for acid-loving plants like ferns, African violets, and Christmas cacti. The slight acidity and nitrogen boost promote lush, green growth. For flowering plants, use sparingly, as too much nitrogen can discourage blooming in favor of leaf production. Apply coffee grounds just once a month, as overuse can make soil too acidic. A thin layer, just enough to slightly darken the soil surface, is sufficient. As a bonus, coffee grounds also deter certain pests, like aphids and slugs, due to their abrasive texture and natural compounds. Pencil shaving mulch. Here's a creative way to use pencil shavings as a mini mulch for your houseplants. Wood shavings from pencils made from cedar or basswood act as a natural moisture regulator and slow-release nutrient source. According to research in the Journal of Forestry, wood shavings help maintain consistent soil moisture by reducing evaporation and preventing soil compaction from watering. They also break down very slowly, gradually releasing small amounts of carbon and trace minerals. Simply collect pencil shavings in a container until you have enough to create a thin layer on top of your plant's soil. Avoid shavings from colored pencils, as they may contain dyes that could harm plants. This mini mulch works well for most houseplants, but is especially beneficial for plants that prefer consistent moisture like ferns, peace lilies, and calatheas. The cedar in many pencils has natural antimicrobial properties that can help prevent mold and fungus gnats, common problems in indoor gardening. Replace the shaving layer every 2 to 3 months as it breaks down. As an added aesthetic benefit, the natural wood color creates an attractive, finished look to your potted plants. Sponge water reservoir. This next trick is perfect for forgetful waterers or those who travel occasionally. An old clean sponge can become a self-watering reservoir that provides consistent moisture to your plants. Horticultural scientists at the University of Georgia have documented how water-absorbing materials at the bottom of containers can create a beneficial moisture gradient, allowing plants to access water as needed without becoming waterlogged. Cut a clean sponge to fit the bottom of your pot before adding soil. The sponge will absorb excess water during watering and then slowly release it as the soil dries out, creating a mini reservoir for your plant. This helps prevent both overwatering and underwatering, the two most common causes of houseplant death. This trick works exceptionally well for plants that prefer consistent moisture like ferns, prayer plants, and peace lilies. It's also perfect for plants in hanging baskets that can be difficult to water thoroughly. Be sure to use a new sponge without soap or cleaning chemicals, or thoroughly rinse and dry an old one before use. Natural cellulose sponges are ideal, but regular kitchen sponges work well too. Replace the sponge when repotting, usually every 1 to 2 years. Fish tank water fertilizer. If you have an aquarium, you're sitting on a free, balanced fertilizer that houseplants love. The water from fish tanks contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and beneficial microorganisms that create an ideal plant food. Research published in Hort Science Journal found that aquarium water can provide a balanced nutrient profile similar to diluted commercial fertilizers, while also introducing beneficial bacteria that improve soil health. When performing a partial water change on your aquarium, use the old water to water your houseplants instead of pouring it down the drain. The fish waste and food particles break down into nutrients that plants can readily absorb. This natural fertilizer works for virtually all houseplants, but is especially beneficial for foliage plants like pothos, philodendrons, and spider plants. The gentle, balanced nutrient profile promotes overall plant health without the risk of burning that comes with stronger fertilizers. Use aquarium water for regular watering once every 2 weeks during the growing season. If your tank water has been treated with medications or algicides, wait at least 2 weeks after treatment before using it on plants. Mobility-friendly solutions. Welcome to our final set of gardening tricks. Mobility-friendly solutions. These ingenious methods are specifically designed to make gardening accessible and enjoyable for those with limited mobility, arthritis, or anyone who wants to reduce physical strain. Let's explore these game-changing techniques that will transform your indoor gardening experience. Aloe vera plant first aid. Just as aloe vera gel soothes our skin, it can also heal damaged plants. This natural remedy works wonders for plant injuries and is backed by solid plant science. Research from the University of Texas Plant Biology Department has shown that aloe vera contains compounds that seal wounds, prevent infection, and stimulate cell regeneration in plant tissue. These same properties that make it effective for human skin work remarkably well for plant tissues too. To use this remedy, break off a small piece of an aloe vera leaf and squeeze out the clear gel. Apply a thin layer to damaged areas on your plant, such as broken stems, torn leaves, or areas affected by sunburn. The gel creates a natural bandage that protects the wound while promoting healing. This works especially well for succulents, cacti, and other fleshy-leaved plants, but can be used on most houseplants. For best results, use fresh gel directly from the plant rather than commercial aloe products, which may contain preservatives or alcohol that could harm your plants. Apply the gel once and let it dry completely. There's no need to reapply unless the protective layer gets washed away. You'll notice faster healing and reduced scarring on your beloved plants. Plus, growing an aloe plant for this purpose gives you a useful houseplant that doubles as a first aid kit for your other plants. Yogurt container compost tea brewer. Here's a simple way to create nutrient-rich compost tea without the need for heavy equipment or complicated setups. All you need is an empty yogurt container and some kitchen scraps. According to the Journal of Environmental Horticulture, liquid extracts from composted materials can significantly improve plant growth and disease resistance by introducing beneficial microorganisms and nutrients in an easily absorbed form. To make your mini compost tea brewer, rinse an empty yogurt container and poke small holes in the lid. Add fruit peels, coffee grounds, and eggshells. Avoid meat or dairy. Fill with water, secure the lid, and let it sit in a warm place for 3-5 days. The resulting liquid is a diluted, nutrient-rich tea perfect for houseplants. This gentle fertilizer works well for most houseplants, particularly foliage plants like pothos, philodendrons, and ferns. The micronutrients and beneficial bacteria promote vibrant growth without the risk of nutrient burn that comes with stronger fertilizers. Dilute the tea with water at a 1:10 ratio before using, and apply once a month during the growing season. The small container makes this method manageable even for those with limited strength or dexterity, and there's no heavy lifting required. Pill bottle seed storage. Organizing and storing seeds can be challenging, especially when dealing with small seed packets and limited dexterity. Empty prescription bottles provide the perfect solution. Horticultural preservation experts at the National Seed Storage Laboratory note that seeds stay viable longest when stored in airtight, moisture-proof containers in a cool environment, exactly what pill bottles provide. Clean and dry empty prescription bottles, then use them to store seed packets or loose seeds. The amber color of many pill bottles helps block light that can reduce seed viability, while the tight sealing caps keep out moisture. Label each bottle clearly with the seed type and date. This system works for all types of seeds and is especially helpful for organizing small seed collections. The bottles are easy to handle, stack neatly, and protect seeds from humidity and pests. As a bonus, most pill bottles are the perfect size to grip comfortably, even for those with arthritis. Add a small silica gel packet saved from vitamin bottles or shoe boxes to absorb any residual moisture and extend seed life even further. With this system, your seeds will stay organized and viable for years to come. Cotton ball drainage control. Overwatering is the #1 killer of houseplants, and this is particularly problematic in small pots where water can quickly become trapped. Here's an elegant solution that helps prevent waterlogging while being gentle on your hands. Plant scientists at the University of Florida have demonstrated that creating a drainage layer that gradually absorbs and releases moisture helps prevent root rot while maintaining adequate hydration. Cotton balls provide this perfect balance. Before adding soil to small pots, place 3 to 5 cotton balls at the bottom. They'll absorb excess water during watering and then slowly release it back to the soil as it dries, creating a buffer against overwatering. Unlike rocks or gravel, cotton is soft and lightweight, making this method easy on arthritic hands. This technique works wonderfully for small plants like succulents, cacti, and African violets, which are particularly sensitive to overwatering. It's also ideal for decorative pots without drainage holes, where water management is crucial. Use only 100% cotton balls without fragrances or treatments. They'll eventually break down and become part of the soil ecosystem. Adding a small amount of organic material. Replace them when repotting, typically every 1 to 2 years. Lazy Susan plant turntable. Plants grow toward light sources, often resulting in uneven, leaning growth. Regularly rotating plants promotes balanced growth, but this can be challenging when pots are heavy or shelves are hard to reach. Horticultural research published in the Journal of Plant Growth Regulation confirms that even light exposure results in more symmetrical growth and better overall plant health. A Lazy Susan or turntable provides the perfect solution without any heavy lifting. Place potted plants on a Lazy Susan turntable and give it a quarter turn every few days. This ensures all sides of the plant receive equal light exposure, resulting in balanced, upright growth. For those with limited mobility, this means no more reaching, lifting, or struggling with heavy pots. Just a simple spin does the trick. This method works for all houseplants, but is especially beneficial for those that tend to grow toward light sources, like fiddle-leaf figs, rubber plants, and most flowering plants. It's also perfect for grouping several small plants together while ensuring they all receive adequate light. Choose a turntable with a weight capacity appropriate for your plants, and consider one with a non-slip surface to keep pots secure. Some gardeners even place small turntables on windowsills to rotate individual plants without taking up extra space. Rolling cart garden station. Creating a mobile garden station eliminates the need to carry heavy pots or stretch to reach plants in difficult locations. This game-changing setup has been recommended by occupational therapists specializing in adaptive gardening techniques. Studies from the American Horticultural Therapy Association show that accessible gardening setups significantly extend seniors' ability to continue enjoying this beneficial hobby despite mobility challenges. Select a small rolling cart with 2 to 3 shelves and arrange your plants by watering needs. The mobility allows you to easily move plants to optimal light conditions, bring them to a comfortable work height for maintenance, or relocate them during cleaning or when guests visit. This system works for any collection of houseplants and is particularly valuable for those with back pain, limited mobility, or balance concerns. The ideal cart has locking wheels for stability when not in motion, and shelves at various heights to accommodate different plant sizes. Organize your gardening tools, watering can, and plant care products on the lower shelves so everything you need is in one place, eliminating the need to search for supplies or carry items from room to room. Some gardeners even attach a small hook to hang lightweight tools or a magnifying glass for examining plants. Automatic mister for humidity-loving plants. Maintaining proper humidity around tropical plants can be challenging, especially when manual misting becomes difficult due to arthritis or limited dexterity. Automatic misters provide a perfect solution. Research from the Tropical Plant Research Institute demonstrates that consistent ambient humidity significantly improves the health of tropical houseplants, reducing leaf browning and promoting new growth. Repurpose a clean, empty spray bottle by modifying it into a slow-release mister. Fill the bottle with water, then insert a piece of cotton rope or thin fabric strip through the spray mechanism so one end sits in the water and the other hangs out the nozzle. Place this near humidity-loving plants, and it will slowly release moisture into the air through capillary action. This works beautifully for ferns, orchids, prayer plants, and other tropical varieties that thrive in humid environments. The passive system requires no squeezing or hand strength, yet provides constant, gentle humidity without the need for expensive electric humidifiers. Refill the bottle once a week or when empty, and occasionally clean the wick to prevent mineral buildup. Position the mister slightly above your plants for optimal coverage, allowing the natural evaporation to create a microclimate around your humidity-loving specimen. We've reached the end of our journey through these 40 transformative indoor gardening tricks, and I hope you're feeling inspired and empowered. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered together, and how these methods can truly enhance your gardening experience. Throughout this video, we've explored 4 essential categories of gardening tricks designed with your needs in mind. We began with natural nutrition boosters, simple ways to nourish your plants using everyday items you already have at home. From copper pennies that prevent fungal problems to egg water that strengthens roots, these methods provide gentle, effective nutrition without the need for expensive store-bought products. We then discovered watering and plant protection techniques that make hydration and care easier on your body while keeping your plants in peak condition. The wooden skewer moisture test takes the guesswork out of watering, while methods like the ice cube technique eliminate the need to lift heavy watering cans. Our smart recycling methods showed how items that might otherwise be discarded can become valuable gardening tools. From yogurt containers to newspaper pots, these eco-friendly approaches save money while reducing waste, a win for both you and the environment. Finally, our mobility-friendly solutions addressed specific challenges that can make gardening difficult as we age. The rolling cart garden station, Lazy Susan plant turntable, and other adaptive techniques ensure that physical limitations never have to limit your gardening joy. What makes these tricks truly special is that they're all backed by horticultural science and expert research. These aren't just folk remedies or untested ideas, they're proven methods that work reliably time after time. I've personally tested each one in my own home over multiple growing seasons to ensure they deliver the results you deserve. Remember, gardening is more than just a hobby. It's a connection to nature that offers profound benefits for our physical and mental well-being. Research from the National Institute of Health has shown that gardening activities can reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and even improve cognitive function as we age. By adapting our methods to suit our changing needs, we can continue to enjoy these benefits throughout our lives. The beauty of indoor gardening is that it's accessible to everyone, regardless of space, climate, or physical ability. With the techniques we've explored today, you can create a thriving indoor garden that brings life, color, and joy into your home year-round. Whether you have a sunny windowsill, a bright corner, or even just a spot under a grow light, these methods will help your plants flourish with minimal strain on your body. I encourage you to start with just a few of these tricks that seem most relevant to your situation. Perhaps begin with the wooden skewer moisture test to perfect your watering routine, or try the rolling cart garden station if mobility is your primary concern. Over time, incorporate more techniques as you become comfortable with each one. Gardening should never feel overwhelming. It should be a source of pleasure and satisfaction. One of the most beautiful aspects of gardening is how it connects us to a larger community of plant lovers. Each of us has valuable experiences and insights to share. I've learned so many wonderful techniques from fellow gardeners over the years, and these exchanges have enriched my gardening practice immeasurably. In that spirit of community, I'd love to hear which of these tricks resonated most with you. Which ones will you try first? Do you have your own ingenious gardening methods that make plant care easier or more enjoyable? The comment section below is the perfect place to share your thoughts and experiences. Your insights might be exactly what another gardener needs to overcome a challenge or find renewed joy in their indoor garden. By sharing our knowledge, we create a supportive community where everyone can thrive alongside their plants. The tricks we've explored today are designed to remove barriers and make gardening accessible to everyone. Age, physical limitations, or busy schedules should never prevent us from enjoying the profound satisfaction of nurturing living things. With these adaptive techniques, you can continue or even expand your gardening practice regardless of the challenges you may face. I believe that everyone deserves to experience the special joy that comes from watching a plant grow under your care. There's something deeply fulfilling about creating a nurturing environment where life can flourish. It connects us to natural cycles and reminds us of our own capacity for growth and renewal. As you implement these techniques in your own home, remember to be patient with yourself and your plants. Gardening is never about perfection. It's about the process of learning, adapting, and growing together with your green companions. Some methods might need slight adjustments to suit your specific environment or plants, and that's perfectly normal. Trust your instincts and observations as you find what works best in your unique situation. Before we part ways, I want to emphasize one final point. Gardening should bring you joy. If any aspect becomes too challenging or stressful, there's always an adaptive technique or alternative approach that can help. The methods we've explored today are designed to eliminate strain and frustration, allowing the natural pleasure of gardening to shine through. I hope this collection of tricks brings new life to your indoor garden and renewed enjoyment to your gardening practice. Remember that each plant you nurture not only beautifies your home but also purifies your air, lifts your spirits, and connects you to the timeless rhythm of growth and renewal. Thank you for joining me on this journey through these 40 indoor gardening tricks. I'm confident that with these methods in your toolkit, you'll experience the joys of gardening with greater ease and satisfaction than ever before. Your green thumb journey continues with each new day, each new leaf, and each new bloom. I look forward to hearing about your successes and discoveries in the comments below. Which trick will you try first? What challenges are you hoping to overcome? Let's continue this conversation and support each other in our gardening adventures. Until next time, may your plants grow strong, your gardening be comfortable, and your home be filled with the special joy that only living green things can bring. Happy gardening, friends!